What is up, everybody? I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
We are
Hill City Paranormal.
And on the Other Side podcast.
What's
hey,
happening?
Daryl. Daryl is number one today. Daryl Paulette, Bedford Paranormal. And he also runs the Spirit of Clover Hill Village as well as the historic Appomattox County Jail. If you have not investigated these locations, you, my friends, are missing out. Period. Both super haunted locations. We can attest. We've been to Clover Hill twice. I have some unfinished business with some inmates at the jail. I'm going to go back and see them. They're my friends. Kim Brady. Hi, honey. Where's your other half? Where is your other half? Spirit-led Paranormal.
The other half.
And I hear you guys are coming down to do Clover Hill in the jail as well. You will not be disappointed. I am sorry that we are unable to make it.
Jail was great. I like the jail.
We are traveling.
The jail was definitely good.
Every weekend.
Clover Hill's all right too. Don't get me wrong, but the jails were.
Yeah, the jail kind of has my heart over here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I have their hearts.
That's because you like going to jail.
Hey, Lois.
Lois Clark. Hello, ma'am.
You're watching Wednesday?
Oh, the TV show?
Oh, wait, what?
The TV show Wednesday. Wednesday Addams.
Oh. Did they drop season 2 already?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I need to catch up because I'm done with season 1, so. Oh, okay, yeah, oh, cool. All right.
You got slow in your old age.
No, I just don't watch. I do not have time for television anymore. Like, it's sad. I need to sit down and watch my series.
She got time.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. Trolling me all the time.
No, I don't.
She got plenty of time.
Trolling you?
Don't let her fool you.
Trolling him.
She got time.
You guys hear this? Trolling. That's what he's trolling. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. I didn't know they dropped season 2. So I was super addicted to like Handmaid's Tale and finish Handmaid's Tale. So upset with how Handmaid's Tale ended. I do not understand why they have not dropped. When I tell you a series leaves you with a cliffhanger, that is one series that I threw the whole clicker, my blanket, my phone, everything. Hey, James, Kim's other half.
James, the man himself.
Yes,
what's up, bro? Spirit-led
Paranormal in the house. Guys, I've got a lot to talk about today. Not that that's any different from any other day. So, I was going to wait for a little bit more people to come in, but I see they're kind of trickling in. So I'm going to get started. And if you missed out, then you missed out. But we have started a new venture of film creating. Would you call it film creating?
Content creating, maybe?
Content creating. Sean likes to say we are not content creators. We're just creating content.
Exactly. We're not good at it.
Yeah, we're still learning. Like, I am nowhere on the level of any of these people on the TikTok or whatever that
the TikTok.
Yeah, the TikTok that have. Hey, John, FPRI. I'm gonna get to you in a second.
No, John.
No, be nice. Now he can like actually flip you off because he is so scared of getting like banned on TikTok. But
he knows what I'm talking about.
I will get to this. I have so many stories.
I love Sullivan. So, we love John Sullivan.
With that being,
I hope he's laughing over there.
With that being said, we started with he is laughing. We started with short docuseries, and I covered one of our local notorious homicides that happened up the road. Then we started doing like some short documentaries on cemeteries and things like that. We had a lot of requests for us to go live during investigations.
We live, baby.
So we recently this past weekend, and I'll start with this, and I'm going to back up so you guys can understand how this all correlates. So this past weekend, we investigated the Doss House for the first time. The Doss House is in Laredo, Pennsylvania. Laredo. Sean kept calling it Laredo. It's Loretto, Pennsylvania.
Bedford County.
Okay. This is a spit and hit the neighbor's house town. When I tell you, like, there's 15 houses, like you could throw a quarter from the porch of the Doss House and hit 5 of the neighbors' houses. It's true. You happen upon this town and then bam, like you're out of it. They've got like one American Legion, a community center, and like a small neighborhood, and bam, you're out. Closest town is Crescent. So the week.
Yes, that's where Crescent Penitentiary is.
Yes, the week leading up to that. Hey, Paul Fowler.
What's up, Paul?
Shout out North Carolina Coastal Plains. Michelle Wilfong, the Haunted Apartment.
Hey, Michelle. Nice of you to join us. Thank you.
So,
check out their YouTube, by the way.
The week leading up to our Doss House investigation, everything that could have gone wrong with my vehicle, my primary vehicle we travel in, happens. Okay. And I'm like, this has got to be a joke. So, a really bad joke at that. So, we fixed all that. We hit the road. I get about Ronnie Rickard, Middletown Paranormal.
What's up,
hello,
Ronnie?
hello.
Good to see you in here.
And if Shayla is watching, hello to her as well.
Miss Shayla.
But heading up to Pennsylvania, this said phone, okay, almost went off a bridge into the Potomac.
The man himself, Mr. Howie, Dr. Odell.
Hey, Howie. Shout out ASPS as well as the Riff Nation.
The Orion Effect.
Yes, the doctor is here.
The doctor.
Okay, so Daryl said my brother, which means Ronnie Anderson is in here somewhere. Ronnie Anderson, speaker, forever hold your peace. I don't see him yet. But anyway, this said brand new S25 Ultra almost ended up in the Potomac. Okay. My phone on a fritz. It would not allow me to, he's talking to Ronnie Rickard. Okay, cool. It would not allow me to send a text message, Google, Facebook message. I could not contact anybody. And at that moment, I realized how much we depend on technology. Okay, I'm almost in tears.
You depend on it.
All right. I'm like trying to reach out to the Doss House, let them know, hey, we're in Crescent, we're stopping for dinner. We'll be there. And, at this time, I can't even send this message. It won't let me make a phone call, nothing. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is complete and utter bullshit. I slammed this phone on the table. I cleaned it. I took water to it, hand sanitizer, everything you can possibly think of. Did not work. So we had to stop, get a couple drinks. We decided just to head to the location, figured, all right, well, the owners will show up eventually, and it is what it is. 2 of our team members arrived before we did. Luckily, Shauna and Danielle, who are the owners of the Doss House, were already there. Right when I walked in the door after introductions, okay. Hey, Kimmy.
Hey, Kimmy. Thank you for joining.
Ronnie, it is true. Okay, it is true. But when you're traveling and that's like your only method of contacting a location, like you're panicking. So then, actually, let me back it up. So it's not a paranormal investigation until you get kicked off of an abandoned property for trespassing.
We don't encourage that. We had a flashback to our 30s and 20s.
I am the bad influence here. I'm the problem. It's me. Sean discouraged this. I will put this out there publicly. I passed by 2, not 1, 2.
These outlaw days.
No trespassing signs, but I was determined to get some photographs of Crescent. Upon pulling up to Crescent, I got out, I got my photographs, and I turned around and a whole truckload of people pulled up like it was like pitchforks and like torches. They were ready to like cuss everybody out.
First of all, let me put this out there. If you're gonna pull up on me, be careful. That don't scare me. Be nice.
Yeah.
And they were.
So, John, yes, absolutely.
You gotta be careful running up on me.
And this is why I'm bringing it up. So,
outlaw for a reason.
My team member that was with us, Carrie, loves to talk, thankfully. So immediately, guy jumps out. What the hell are you doing here? We've got vandals on the property and we want to make sure you're not vandalizing the property. So she smoothed it over. She was like, hey, we're paranormal investigators. Like we were coming up here to see if we couldn't talk to somebody about booking an event. And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Where are you from? And the conversation went from there. So they are booking paranormal events now. John, I saw your post earlier. So yes, Crescent 2026. We're down. Let's do it. while we're there, let's make a weekend out of it because I also want to go to the Old Stone Jail, which isn't too far. Okay.
2 correctional facilities in one weekend.
I say let's do it. So, heading on to the Doss house. I arrive, introductions are made, and this is totally a summarized version. Introductions are made, and then Shauna stops me and she says, "Can I ask you a question?" Or no, I think it was Danielle asked me. She said, "Have you had any issues with like your vehicle or your phone?" I whipped around so damn fast. I said, "This piece of shit hasn't worked all day. I haven't been able to text you guys, call you guys, Google, nothing. I couldn't do anything. I reset everything in my phone. I'm so upset." And she said, "That is not uncommon coming to the Doss house." And I stopped. I said, okay, which leads me to my first topic of tonight's discussion. I hear a lot of paranormal investigators saying that they experience technology issues, car issues. They're unable to start their car at haunted locations. Their phone stops working, whatever the case may be. And I've never had that directly happen to me. So when it happened, I had to put my thinking cap on, like, could this be paranormal? So I want to ask you guys in the comments, do you think that the spirit realm knows when you're going to a haunted location and has the ability to affect technology? That's my question. I want to do that one as well on my list. John, I've got the owner's contact info. So, and then we've also got the owner's contact info or the Booker people's contact info for Crescent. So I could shoot it to you or I can set it up, whatever. Teresa, how do you hit that vape like that? I tried to do it and almost died. As an ex-smoker, I had to learn. I don't know if you were vaping or I was vaping, but I had to learn very quickly. You have to inhale a lot of air. Best time at Crescent was Friday night in the Airbnb. So Howie is leaning back in his chair and throwing his legs up. I do want your input, Howie, on this. James said 100%. Michelle said yes. Rhonda Harris, psychic medium Rhonda Harris, the other half of the Orion Effect,
joined us virtually, and so did John.
Yes.
Shout out FPR.
Both of them were in our live at the Doss house, which was crazy.
So I'm going to give my input on this real quick while y'all are typing your comments on this theory. I'm going to be one of those people. Y'all going to hate me for this.
No, Debbie.
So I'm going to be one of those people that say, I always thought everybody was full of crap when they were talking about how their phones and stuff acted up on the way to a location and things didn't work. But I was literally looking up a U.S. cellular location to fix her phone on the way to the location. And I also was pissed off about sinking thousands of dollars into our vehicle before we went to the location. So trust me, I was going through it before we went to this location. Yeah, Michelle, I thought investigators throughout the years were just telling those fishing stories.
The clickbait stories.
About stuff not working. That phone.
Here we go.
I did
I was waiting for it.
I did everything I could to fix the phone. I reset the phone, restarted the phone, looked up several locations on where we could fix her phone because you really couldn't work it. I tried to type, text, do all kind of stuff, could not work it. But here's the kicker, y'all. Phone works just fine as soon as we leave the location.
Well, actually, it started working just fine at an exact hour at the location. So right when I announced I was going live, my nerves were shot because I'm like, the way my phone was acting, what it was doing was I would pull up a screen like this and I'm going to manually do this so you could see. So I would click in the text box to type, and then the screen would do this and go back and click on somebody else's text and then do this, go back to the home screen, go here, click on something random, go back here, minimize, lock,
don't click
unlock,
on none of my messages.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you could not function. Like it was just, it had literally a mind of its own. So when I went live, I didn't think anything of it. I just prayed. And Howie, I see your comment. I'm getting to it. Okay. I just prayed that I could just get the caption in that says live from the Doss house part 1. And I typed the caption in. And I hit go live and just did not touch my phone and just literally prayed. I was like, please just keep this live. Don't back out of the live. And it stayed live the entire time. And I wasn't touching my phone. So let me get to Howie's comment really quick.
What does the doctor have to say?
Clears throat. The spirit world is all a part of the conscious collective. They know when you're coming to a site. It is based on kinetic energy. We place this out in everyday thought through like evidence and such. If the said spirit came and messed with a toy with no battery, can mess with a toy with no batteries, if it can use a walkie-talkie as it's turned off, it is able to turn on and communicate. Yes, if mediums can catch words and communicate, that is proof as well. The answer is science and spirituality.
Very interesting theory and very good theory, Howie. I love it.
I'm glad you brought that up because when I got home the next day, I spent over an hour researching like telekinesis, so to speak, like, and manifestations. Those were my two primary sources of like research for the next morning. And the things that I read about are similar to that. Like we can almost speak something into existence by just thinking it. You know, if you wake up every day and this is something as basic, okay? If I wake up in the morning and I think to myself, today is going to be a shitty day. Like I'm going to have a shitty day. Everybody's going to be shitty. I'm going to just whatever, run into every a-hole out there. The chances are much greater that I'm going to have a shitty day and run into every a-hole out there than if I wake up, feet hit the floor, and I say, today's going to be a good day. And literally give yourself daily affirmations. I am beautiful. I believe in myself. I'm going to have a great day. I'm smart. I'm this, I'm that. Work is going to go great. Day is going to go smooth. It's going to go quick. Before you know it, bam, your work shift's over. You had an amazing day. Coworkers were walking by. I love your dress, love your hair, love your shoes. Hey girl, how was your weekend? I'm glad you're here. You go to the gas station and, coffee happens to be 69 cents instead of its typical $1.69. You go through the drive-thru, somebody paid it forward. You spoke that into existence, even though you thought it. It's possible. I think it's possible. Debbie Cushman and the hair. I did not shout you out. Hello, hello. G Taps, Ghost Town Operations, and Dinner with a Ghost. James Brady, I have had video or audio reviewed on site and could not find it later, or it was like what I recorded was changed and evidence was not the same as during the review.
Yeah, James, we talked about that before. I'm glad you actually brought that back up. That has happened to me several times, reviewing evidence that I know I had, and it's either in another file or just completely gone.
And Rhonda said, yes, Courtney, 100%. Or even like, if you worry about your car breaking down, it sure shit will. How about evidence missing in picture and audio as well?
Yeah, Howie, going along with James on that, that's how many times have we gotten EVPs in our recorder? We go back to look for the EVP on the recorder and that's not there. We can't find it.
So the weird part, though, is I wasn't consciously worried about going to the DOS house. I didn't consciously, but I noticed that this one investigation, and this is really weird, and correct me if I'm wrong, the week leading up to the DOS house investigation, for some reason, I was super excited to go. And so I kept talking about it. Like all week, I would say, oh my God, I'm so excited to go to the DOS house this weekend. Like, I'm so excited to go to the DOS house this weekend. So if it's true that spirits can tap in telekinetically, then at that point they heard from another dimension how excited I was to go to the DOS house. And they were like, skirt, let me stop this. There will be no excitement at the DOS house today.
I would like to say something about the DOS house, though. So what I will say,
and it's possible.
What I will say about the DOS house location.
Yeah, I'm getting to that too.
Yeah. This is the first location I've been to in a while where I walked in and just something felt weird. I won't say bad. I won't say, I don't want to really say, I want to say just off. number one, kudos to the location. Now, everybody's different. Everybody's not like I am, and I get
I agree,
that.
Howie.
But the place is almost like it was left the way it was. It's a very
No, there's no almost like it was.
Please, if Danielle, as her name was her name,
Danielle and Shauna,
don't take this the wrong way because I'm actually saying this in a very good way. I like for locations to be left the hell alone. I like for locations to not be fully renovated. When I walk in, I like the aesthetic of it. It looked the way it did when whoever last lived in it. I don't like for places to be fully perfect and beautiful and renovated when I walk in there. I sometimes feel like too much renovation and modernization. I feel like sometimes spirits don't like that. I feel like that will sometimes even cleanse a haunted location. Now, people are going to disagree with me. Paranormal investigators might disagree with me. Some people might say if it's haunted, it's haunted. But I love walking into an older location that still looks like it might have looked that way 40 years ago.
Right.
And so when I walked in there, it reminded me of walking into my grandmother's house when I was a kid. The place is very crappy looking, so to speak. But I'm saying this in a very good way.
It's still in its rundown state.
It's run down. There's nothing beautiful about it. The place is cooled by fans. There's nothing beautiful about it, but to me, that's what makes it beautiful. I loved it. I can't say nothing but good things about the place. And that maybe that's what added to the uneasy feeling about it. I loved it. I completely loved it. So don't take this in a negative way to the owners, because the owners were great. They were very knowledgeable. They were very helpful. They're very beautiful people. But what I will say,
this is true.
All right. So as far as decent gear room, I had no problem bringing my gear in. I had no problem setting it up somewhere. I had no problem. And when it comes to power, I power all my own equipment. I have little mini generators for all my gear if I need to charge something. I have power packs. My cameras have their own power packs. If I need to charge anything, like I said, I bring my own power, so I really don't need it. But they do have power supply there. We as investigators, we don't want too much power in that location anyway, because that affects our equipment, right? So again, places that are fully renovated and remodeled and stuff like that is not my bag. But each his own, right?
I will say the bathroom. Okay, so if we're doing a review on the Doss House, 1A, I was actually going to do this in a minute, but approaching the location, yes, it is about to fall over.
It looks terrible.
The one thing that I love about Shauna and Danielle is their brutal honesty. So as I was rolling B-roll footage outside, they made a joke and they said, "Let me show you this tennis ball that's in the wall. It's a joke. If the tennis ball is removed, the whole foundation is going to fall down." So as a joke, they have humor behind it. But their story behind the Doss House, and I'm not going to tell you what the story is because we will be dropping a video here soon with the story, and I want to kind of save it for that. Leah. But their story was very touching to me as to how they acquired the Doss House. But the last time the Doss House was lived in was in the 70s. They could not even walk into the location. It was definitely in a hoarding state. There was small pathways. So they were able, everything they were able to salvage, they did. And the one thing that I loved the most was they said you can touch and sit on anything in here. So like in the Doss House, there's a barber shop, and they were like, you can touch all of the barber tools. You can interact with anything you want. Then when I went into the bathroom is very female accommodating. And I thought that that was really cool. Now, I may not need female products, but there's a lot of female investigators out there that do. So to see that they're taking the time to have, hand sanitizer, wipes, feminine products, reading material, like haunted reading material for the guys that take an hour in the bathroom, like, It was just
read while you dropping that dick.
all around. I was like, this is a really nice bathroom. Like, I will say the bathroom is nice
and clean. But here's my thing, though. And again, some of you might hate
the
me.
big pink hand. Hey, Leah.
Hey, Leah, the classic hand. I'm brutally honest. I don't need comfort during an investigation. I don't think if you're an investigator and you're going for comfort and luxury, I think you're in the wrong field. That's my opinion. Hate me for it. Get mad. Follow me. Go ahead. I don't care. I'm just being completely honest.
Don't unfollow us. I like my followers.
I like my followers too, but I'm also going to keep it real in here. If you're going to locations for the bed and the comfort and all this, that, and the third, I think you're in the wrong field. You're going to seek the truth. You're going to see about life on the other side. If you're going to locations for the beautiful renovations and the remodeling, and that's what you're there for, you're in the wrong field. You're doing the wrong thing. You're going for the wrong reasons. I go seek the truth. I want to find out about life on the other side. I don't care about how pretty the place is or what the owners did to renovate and remodel and restructure. I'm going to a location because I want to see what it looked like, how it was lived in, and I'm uncovering history and stories of the past. Now, these owners went out of their way to make sure that I had a proper place to take a crap in if I need to.
And there was a gear room.
And there's plenty of place to set my equipment. And if I needed to happen to lay down and take a nap, I had a place that I could do that to.
I agree, Debbie.
Debbie, I really appreciate you that. And Debbie, you and I have had extensive conversation on that very topic, and I appreciate your support on that. So to be honest, if I needed to lay down and take a nap, there was a place for me to do that. I also carry cots with me.
Jeremy, Beyond the Badge.
Content for a
hashtag
cause.
Content for a cause. We tagged y'all in our lives. I know you popped in briefly. Thank you so much. Yeah. You were live from the firehouse. But yes, I definitely appreciate your support. And if you guys don't follow Beyond the Badge Paranormal, you guys are missing out. So great cause, great bunch of people. Go follow.
So I'm going to continue to say this location. Like I said, some investigators will see it like, blah, blah, blah. I loved it. I love the fact that it looked like somebody lived in there 40 years ago. And I hope and pray that they keep it this way. And what I will say that...
ask away, Howie.
Yeah, Howie, go ahead. Shoot your shot. But I will say that this investigation was a lot different than ones that I've had.
Yes.
I will say that
I'm gonna get into it.
We're gonna go into it. We're gonna get
we may go over a little bit tonight, guys. We
have a lot to say about it. I can't wait to get
I'm not gonna give away too much though, because like I said, we're getting ready to drop a video. But
I can't wait to get the owners in here on a podcast. But
yes.
What I will say is just from a feeling standpoint that these people, you get to talk a lot, so I'm talking right now. So these people
cut me off. He's saying the same thing
because I was talking. These people,
he didn't post
this feeling that I got going in here was different than any other investigation, and then the results were different than any other investigation. I've never had an active investigation from the time you step in somewhere to the time that you leave. It's constant. Something going. I got stressed out because of I couldn't figure out.
I'm gonna go back, Howie. Jeremy, anytime, we will always support you. I'm sorry to hear you had to shut your YouTube channel down, but if it's for a good reason, then I'm here for it. Keep us posted. If there's new links or anything, shoot them my way. But go ahead, Sean.
But yeah, Howie, who believes we have the ability to cross a soul over? Do you feel we have the spiritual light that says spirit? Howie, I'm actually glad you brought that up, but I'll fully read it. Howie Odell says, who believes we have the ability to cross a soul over? Do you feel we have the spiritual light to cross that said spirit to their side of location or out location? So I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna give you your opinion. My opinion.
Well, he wants to ask those in the chat, I think.
Well, I think it's open for everybody. So I'm gonna give my opinion. You can give yours, and we'll let the chat work on that one. But yes, we want the answers in the chat. And I'm glad you said that. I don't believe personally that if we're going to a pay-to-play location, which most of us do in the chat, that we should be crossing any spirits over at any pay-to-play location. I think that's wrong for people to do that. I think that if we're going to pay-to-play location, if I have the ability, which I don't feel a lot of us do, I feel like probably over 95% of us do not have the ability to do that or have the right to do it. But I feel like it's wrong because if a location owner is making a living or that's their business, then if we're crossing spirits over, then the next team that goes in there, if we're actually crossing them over, the next team that goes in there, they just wasted their money going to that location to investigate. Two, the second part of that is what gave you that, I would say, skill, or what gives you that qualification to do that. So that's just my opinion.
Hey, the other half of the Odells, Robert from the bunker in Bon Air, dropping in to say hi. Yes, we love your supports.
But what's up, Robert? Frog brother.
I am going to agree with Sean. Okay,
and I'll be right back.
I believe. Where are you going?
I'm out of tobacco.
Lord have mercy. I believe that we are not ordained in such skill to be able to cross people over. And if you are, like Sean said, I think when you're going into a location that is making their primary living or utilizing the funds from paranormal investigations for historical preservation purposes, I feel like you need to leave the spirits be.
Oh, I hit the
James said, I don't think we know enough to have a conversation, let alone cross something over. I'm not sorry if anyone disagrees, but it's my opinion. And that's kind of where we're at. So you can stand there all day long. I could ask a series of questions. Let's say, I don't know, I'm going to pull out of my hat the spirit box, okay? Let's say I've got the spirit box running and I say something to the effect of, are there any spirits here that want to communicate? And I hear clear as day, yes. Okay. I, 1A, do not know who now at this point I'm communicating with. All I did was make an open-ended question. Are there any spirits here that want to communicate? So then if I go into question number 2, do you need help? And I hear a clear yes. Again, I don't know if the original said spirit that I was speaking to is the one that needs help or if it's a different spirits. And then if I follow it up with a question of, do you need help getting to the lights? I don't know who I just helped get to the light because 100% of the time when I'm investigating and I'm running a spirit box session or anything else, and I say, you know, what is the name of the spirit I'm communicating with? I am going to get Emma, Bobby, Steve, Bert. The other day I was on a live with the owners of the Doss House. They were doing the Old Stone Jail, and damned if this darn spirit named Bert kept coming through. Bert. He came through like 11 times, Bert. But when they asked Bert to actually communicate with a piece of equipment or, you know, tell us where you're at, Bert, Bert ghosted them, so to speak. So Bert wanted to just shout his name through the spirit box, but didn't want to kick a cat ball, and he didn't want to come near the tripwire, and he didn't want to touch a REM pod, and he didn't want to tell anybody what cell he was in, and he didn't want to do anything. He just wanted to holler Bert. So, you know, at that point, if you're going to cross a spirit over, you really don't know who you are crossing over. Genuinely no. Unless you can 100% go into a location and say, I know for a fact that, you know, I don't know, John Smith died at this location. John Smith's spirit is still here, and I am helping John Smith cross over. What you're doing is somewhat ineffective. Rhonda said a true shaman has rituals to cross over called psychopump. However, pay to play, we shouldn't. And secondly, if it's not that scenario, it should not be done unless the spirit wants to be crossed. They have to have free will as well. And that's super important too. But I think the key here, guys, that Sean, Howie, and everybody else kind of touched on is if this is a pay-to-play location, don't go in there with your holy water and you know, trying to cleanse the location of spirits. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, guys.
But I want to shoot one back at you. What qualifies you to cross a spirit over? I hear a lot of people say, go to the light, and I sent the spirit to the light, and this and the third. How do you know there's a light that they're going to? We can read, we can talk about it, but how do you know that's where they want to go? And I've heard about people crossing spirits over, but then the next team goes to the location and investigates and talks to that same spirit that was said to be crossed over by teams before.
Thanks, Robert.
So,
does a spirit box retain names like obelisk?
But again,
good question, Debbie.
What I want to talk about is we're having a conversation here with the chat amongst ourselves as investigators. I don't judge anybody for what they believe. You can agree or disagree with me. I love you anyway. We're adults. We're having a conversation. We're not going to agree on everything. But again, what qualifies somebody to cross somebody over? Again, I believe, I don't care what your credentials are or where you come from. It should never be done at a pay-to-play location. If I had my own location and I hear about a team crossing spirits over, I'm gonna be pissed because you're ridding my location of a bit. You're hurting my business at that point. Every location you are paying to play at is a business. At that, I don't care what the business is for. I don't care if it's preserving history or whatever. At the end of the day, if your team is paying to investigate somewhere, that is a business. I don't care how you look at it or what it is. If you are ridding spirits of a location, you're hurting a business. And so we shouldn't be doing that. I don't care if you're helping or whatever your excuse you're using to do it. If you're practicing your skill, you're hurting that business. So that's my opinion on it. I could be wrong. You can tell me, Sean, you're an asshole for saying that, but I'm just saying, I think you're hurting the location, you're hurting the owner, and you're hurting the future of research at a location. If you have a location that's extremely haunted and you cleanse the location, guess what you just did? You took away a location of further research. Did you truly help a spirit? We don't know that. But yeah. So does a spirit box retain names like an obelisk? I can't ever say that.
Obelisk. No, the answer is no, Debbie. Spirit box is an AM/FM radio. Should be scanning in reverse. And the concept behind a spirit box is that the spirits are able to utilize the white noise in between that scan.
Some people scan it forward.
That's what I'm saying. I believe it should be scanned in reverse, but that's my opinion. Should be scanned in reverse, and then the spirits utilize the white noise to kind of come through and communicate with clear words. James, there are some investigators that I would like to. James, I'm trying to tell you. All right, Rhonda, that's a cool question because depending on your beliefs, even if you have made it to the light, if you believe in energy, even if you are crossed over, you can show up and visit anywhere you want and be in multiple places at one time. So crossing would not equate to whether or not you could come back and communicate at a location or with loved ones.
Look at Rhonda dropping knowledge out here and speaking up.
Rhonda is knowledge.
Finally, Rhonda is speaking. I love it.
I wanted to release Audrey from the mansion, but I just couldn't do it. Now, Debbie, I mean, that's a good point. Was it a lack of qualification, or was it, she didn't want to leave? She wasn't ready to go. I mean, there's infinite number of questions as to why Audrey wouldn't leave the mansion. But I want to go back to the Doss house. So, because I know we're like talking a whole lot and like, there's so much stuff.
Great conversation.
So,
I love it.
In summary, you guys can go on our TikTok and go back and watch our live if you have that much time. We were live for I think a total of 4 hours. We did it in 2 parts. But I will say there was a few key points that I wanted to bring up. 1A, I brought them up already. Technology was just jacking up. Car, phone, the whole 9. Then, as we were setting up equipment, I was in the living room by myself. I need to be prepared.
Hey, before you do that, Debbie, if you decide to remove a spirit at your location, that was your location, and if you're obviously connected to that spirit more than anyone else, and that was your choice, and you're in there, that's that's solely on you. I don't have a right to come to your location and remove anything. That's a completely different scenario. So if you decide to do something at your location, that's one thing.
So she said that she felt like she shouldn't remove her. And that's something that you need to pay attention to, too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Only you can make that. Only you and John can make that choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
we may want to, but we may be more like, we may feel like it might not be the right thing to do.
Right.
And I'm thinking, Debbie, that it was more of an emotional connection. Like I'm getting emotional connection vibes off of that. Like almost like you wanted to free Audrey because you guys were so deeply connected to her that when you guys closed the doors, you almost like couldn't bear to leave Audrey behind. I think that you guys you guys became ultimately her caretaker at the mansion. Like you guys cared for her, you communicated with her, and ultimately she became a part of the family. And that's what a lot of spirits that reside in homes and locations do. They become a part of your family, a part of your daily routine. You walk in every day. Good morning, Audrey. You leave every night. Good night, Audrey. See you tomorrow. And so, it was almost like when you were leaving, you probably wish that you could like open your pocket and put her in and take her too. But unfortunately, I think that a lot of spirits are connected to locations, not necessarily people.
Good stuff, y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Howie said this is a bridge as in time equally to spirituality. Yes, for sure. Hey, Chris, thanks for tuning in.
Chris, shout out Supernatural.
And thanks for putting me to work after this podcast. I've got you, though. I've got you.
Oh, yeah, Chris. Hey, Chris, thanks for joining.
Chris Mendez with Supernatural Untold Stories. If you guys do not follow him, and if y'all are bored and want to come to Gettysburg this weekend, we will be in Gettysburg joined by Supernatural Untold Stories. Saturday, we are open for a public. So if anybody wants to make a little trip up to Gettysburg, we would love to have you. I appreciate what you're saying, Rhonda. I may never understand this. I can only go on what I believe, and I have seen people cross spirits over and believe it was merely an attention grab. And James, that's kind of where Sean was going with that. Like, it's more like clickbait, Are there any spirits here that need to cross over? Like, come forward, I can cross you over, blah, blah, blah.
I think there's only certain people who are qualified.
Yeah, I think you have to have the qualifications.
I've only heard Rhonda actually speak on deep subjects a few times. It's like every time her mouth opens, it's like voila. That's why I wish she would talk more. We need to get Rhonda back on the show.
Yes.
She's very knowledgeable. She's way more knowledgeable about it than I am. But yes, anyway. James, good point you made on that, by the way. Good point.
But for the sake of time, I want to back up to the Doss house. I am the type of investigator, guys, that I am all for a good scare. I'm all for a jump scare. I'm all for going into a haunted location, sitting in a dark room, communicating with God knows what the heck is there. I don't know. Can't see it. Sometimes I'm creeped out. Hairs are standing up, whatever. But I need to mentally prepare for this. And the time to do that is after when all of my equipment is set up and I sit down and we go lights out. So, I had a couple teammates that were in the barbershop and they wanted to go over there by themselves and just start a small EVP session. Sean, I believe you stepped outside or you went.
I was in the barbershop.
Okay. So you went to the, okay. So 3 of our team members, I was setting up equipment alone in the living room of the Doss house. And anybody that's been to the Doss house, there is a weird, creepy hallway that goes nowhere. It's the weirdest thing. So you walk in the front door, and I'm giving you guys a visual. You walk in the front door, and when you turn left, there is an archway opening. And when you go in it, to your immediate left is a mirror, and then a long, narrow, like shoulder width hallway. And at the other end is a chair, and then an exit, another archway. It goes nowhere. It's just a hallway. So one end chair, one end mirror. So I set a cat ball in front of the mirror. I set a cat ball on the chair. I walked out to the living room and put my back to the chair where I just sat the cat ball. And I heard a smack cat ball. I turned around just in time to see the cat ball suspended in the air and flying down the hallway. And it clinked the other cat ball like a game of putt-putt. Okay. And I quickly said, hell no, and went and got everybody to come in the living room because we are not throwing balls at Courtney this early in the game. Like, I'm going to need to mentally prepare.
Why not?
So, That was my jump scare at the Doss house. I skedaddled is what I called it. I think I tucked tail and kind of ran to the barbershop like, hey guys, come over here. So that was kind of funny. That was my funny experience and definitely startling experience at the Doss house. We then picked up the said cat ball that got thrown, put it back on the chair, and it never got thrown again. But the other equipment that was at the end of the hallway by the mirror went off intelligently. Pretty much the entire time we were communicating with whatever we believed to be in the hallway. Let me catch up on comments. My question would be, where are you crossing them over to? Apparently the light, James, whatever the light is. Go to the light, Carol Ann. What if the light is where Carol Ann went? Or I mean, shit, I said that wrong. What if the light is where we're crossing? The light where Carol Ann went is the light where we're trying to cross these ghosts over. That was like some kind of alien light that Carol Ann went to, some kind of realm. I asked permissions from spirits and ghosts to film them on video. Michelle, because of you, we have begun to ask permission to talk, film, or communicate with said experience. You know what, guys? We can all learn a little bit of something from Michelle. And let me tell you,
Michelle's got some good stuff.
That brings me to my next point. Okay.
Shout out Michelle Wilfong.
Yes. I do absolutely believe that when we go into a haunted location, it's much like going into the ocean. Everybody's like, oh, there's a shark attack, right? But you literally just walked into this man's house and got your leg bit off. Like, what did you expect to happen? If you walk into my house and I unalive you because you walked into my house unannounced, like, I am not to blame. Like, you broke into my house. It is the same concept. We are walking into these spirits' houses. They may not know that they are dead. A lot of spirits do not know that they are dead. And so they are living their everyday life in their home, wondering why the hell are these strangers in and out of here all day long? And they've got video cameras and bright lights and they're talking to me and, you know, stuff like that. So it would not hurt just to say, hey, do I have your permission, you know, to pull up a camera? Can I videotape you? Is it okay? Stuff like that. Always remain respectful at any haunted location that you go to, like, first and foremost. I always tell them that they have free will. They can leave anytime. That's good too. That's good advice. But starting there, from the jump, Doss house was completely active. Pretty much everywhere we went. Like, we stayed in the living room for quite some time. We moved to the barbershop, got a little bit of activity in there, took a good break, and then we went upstairs. That's where Sean got stressed out. And on our live, I got stressed out. I've got to shout out Judy.
Oh, okay.
I've got to shout out Judy for gifting a mustache and a cowboy hat to Sean.
They did me dirty.
And guys, I should pull up the video and show everybody, but for the sake of this, I will try to find Sean was caught in 4K with a mustache and a hat, y'all. On live.
Yeah, and John Sullivan screenshotted.
All of a sudden, John Sullivan gets in the comments on our live and he says, Sean, check your phone. Okay. At this moment, Sean takes his phone off of DND and proceeds to find a screenshot of Sean in the cowboy hat and the mustache. The funny part about the mustache was, one, Rhonda, you would have died. You would have flipping died because I was about to pee my pants.
It actually scared me.
At this point, we were tired and things were really funny. Okay. But the funniest thing is Sean looked at me afterwards and he said, I didn't know if like a ghost got in the camera and manipulated it and put it on my face. That is where I lost it. Okay. Let me catch up really quick. Ryan Jones and I ran into that at the Powhatan location 2013. The servants in the basements communicated like we were right there. So I agree. It might even be a time or dimension thing.
Well, we're going to talk about that too.
John, we don't have time. Well, that'll be another podcast. I'm almost out of time and poor Ryan Jones has a podcast. I'm not sure I'm qualified to cross over spirits yet, but I'm working on it. Okay. You look like the worm in the tequila bottle. John, I'm telling you, I've never geeked out so bad. I was laughing. his reaction to the mustache. That's what I'm saying. So I went back and watched the full video live. Oh my God. John, when he said it, they put a big old Iron Sheik mustache on me. His whole country accent came out.
Look, it scared me.
I was
though.
no more good.
John, it scared me because like I was just talking to the camera, and all of a sudden
Juan Sean Diego.
I saw a mustache. I saw a mustache, and I looked back at the camera, I'm like, what was that? So I put
somebody called Sean the Monopoly Man.
Somebody put a damn Iron Sheik mustache on me. I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Chad, yes. So, when we get tired, we get goofy. But after this, it was so funny because our reactions were not fast enough. So like we had cat balls that were going off, REM pod was going off, EDI was going off, the tracer wire was going off, this was going off, and poor Sean had my phone on the tripod, and he was trying to get everybody to see the first cat ball, and as the first cat ball was going off, the second one would go off, and the REM would go off behind him, and the tracer wire was going off, and he looked at the camera at one point, he just put the whole phone down, he said, "You guys, I'm stressed out."
I will say this, and Sullivan was watching. That REM pod, y'all know, I say it every week how I feel.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it for the podcast, Sean. Because John Sullivan heard you say it.
I can't see the camera, all this vape smoke in here.
Yeah. Oh, I took my own.
Oh my God, John. I will say this.
Make it his contact ID.
Y'all know how I feel. Oh my God, Sullivan. That's all right, John. I'm gonna catch you sleeping. Payback, buddy. Payback. Let's remember that.
I do have John. I do have a picture.
We'll be investigating with John.
No, I do have a picture of John in googly eyes.
Where are we at? The house on College Hill? We'll get John.
No. I got a picture of him from Rainworth in googly eyes.
Yeah, we'll get John. But I will say, y'all know how I feel about a REM pod. I talk about it all the time. I will say that damn REM pod, I couldn't.
Everybody listen very closely.
I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. So
he figured it out.
REM pods are quiet.
At that moment,
we sit them out and see what they do, and the REM pod was making a bunch of noise this weekend, and I couldn't figure out why. Could it have been because Courtney's phone was live?
No, because the REM didn't go off until I started talking about the dead person.
A folded American flag.
The dead person's American flag.
And out of nowhere, we started talking about the flag, and the REM pod just goes nuts. Now, John's my witness. Sullivan's my witness. We took that battery out.
And we tested it on live.
Live on camera, and that battery was not dead.
Green.
The battery was still in the green. And the battery, it went off nonstop. It was communicating with what we were saying. I don't know what happened with that REM pod. I don't believe in them, y'all, but I can't figure out why it was going off. And what I will say is the trifecta, the tracer wire.
And he said he actually believed in the REM pod.
I didn't say I believed in it. I said I can't figure out why it's going off. And the tracer wire did detect something, and the EDI box was detecting footsteps. And
the EDI picked up footsteps right as the cat ball that was directly below it went off. So that was super cool.
And the cat ball on the bed. Now, the cat ball is sitting on a comforter on the bed. It shouldn't have moved.
In front of a haunted doll with human hair.
Now, mind you, y'all know how I feel about cat balls. I'm not a huge fan of them either because the science behind them. However, the cat ball we were investigating.
See, it's okay, babe. It's okay to believe in the REM pod.
The cat ball we were investigating with, the cat balls we were using them all night. They were going off.
They were acclimated.
A lot. So they were acclimated to the environment.
But they were going off on command, guys. So like I would say like, hey, if you're on the bed next to that ball, can you light it up? And bam, the ball would light up. Or, hey, if you're standing there in the doorway, can you kick that ball and light it up? Bam, the ball would light up.
And one piece of equipment I do kind of rely on a lot, if I do rely on any kind of equipment, is the GS2 laser grid. And it was picking up cold spots where it shouldn't have been. Even after resetting it, it was still picking up cold spots. And it shouldn't have been because there's no air conditioning in the place. There's no...
it was so hot.
It was hot. I cut all the fans off. It shouldn't have been picking up cold spots where it was picking them up at. So it was just so much going on. at one time in the upstairs, footsteps, audible footsteps going on. It was a lot of REM pod activity going on, REM pod on command, cat ball on command. Um, that the Doll's House is definitely one that I'm going back to for sure. I'm definitely the barbershop. The only thing that really got me in the barbershop was an EVP that we got where I was talking about. I was
I don't
asking
see Mike, but
questions.
hi, Mike.
What's up, Mike? Uh, it really got me when I was getting ready to start an EVP. We weren't on camera then; we had got off live, but I asked a question and a voice came through. A clear EVP, Class A, said the word chair, and we were
Yeah.
sitting right in front of the barber's chair. I don't know what that was about. Nothing else responded then. A lot of noise in the EVP on the recorder, but that was the only clear vocal EVP I got. It was just so much stuff going on that night. But that's the only place that I really walked into and immediately got an uneasy, weird
Heavy,
feeling.
very heavy.
Very heavy. I've been to a lot of places, and I'll say that just walking in there, you just had this real weird feeling in that place. I won't say only place, but it just immediately from the beginning, it was just.
I was going to say, I think it's the only place from start to finish that you ever felt that.
Yeah, from start to finish, I was just the whole time I was nervous, kind of had a weird feeling walking around, navigating. And it's not a big place. It's not very big. It's just it could be just the way it looks, but I doubt it because I've been in some pretty off looking places before. It was just an awesome investigation, and I'll say that it's one of the few places I've been to where every piece of equipment. Now the place is loaded with EMF. Could that have had something to do with it? It's very high EMF in there. It's an old building with a lot of probably bad wiring in there. Could that have had something to do with it? Possibly. However, in my opinion, and just dealing with electronics and dealing with old buildings and using electronics in them, I felt like things like the REM pod and equipment would have been going off a lot more than what it did in certain areas. Had it been the EMF affecting it. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I don't think it was the EMF in the place, especially going off on command.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off that because, our team decided to be barbaric. Okay. We drove 5.5 hours up to the Doss house. We ate dinner, we investigated, and 2 of our team members tapped out at 2:00. We had our cots and everything, and they had a queen size bed for them to sleep in. And at about 2 a.m., there was only 4 of us. At 2 a.m., the other 2 team members said, I think we're just going to drive back home. And I'm looking at Sean like, what? So after they left is when Sean got super uneasy. And he was just like, yeah, there's like a really weird feeling in here. So we decided to go back, just me and Sean, back to the barbershop and try, one more session. All right, Rhonda, we'll be over there here shortly. We're going to go over a little bit, guys, because I am wrapping it up now. But yeah, good luck. We'll see you
Y'all
shortly.
Go check out the awesome paranormal show. Freaking awesome paranormal show.
But yeah, we went over to the barbershop and attempted to get some more communication. And there was one last weird thing that happened, and we did not have it on live. I don't know if we had our cameras rolling. I don't think so, to be honest with you, because it was kind of like a last minute decision. But and then we were going to go to sleep. And then we went over there, and they've got motion detecting cameras in there. And I had a music box in the living room. The music box in the living room went off. I heard something in the dining room and the kitchen. And then the camera in the barbershop, which is in the opposite side of the house, tracked something, turned all the way around towards the kitchen, tracked something for what seemed like forever, and then tracked back to us. So I have the Doss house pulling footage on that to see if maybe it picked up anything. But then Sean just kind of looked at me and he was like, you know what? We're going to roll out too. So we all decided to be troopers and make that 5-hour drive home. Sean and I split the drive. We made it home safely and alive. But that led me to believe we left at about 4 o'clock. And we noticed that it quieted all the way down at 3 a.m. My question for you guys in the comments, okay, and I do want everybody's input on this, is everybody hollers about a witching hour. Okay, 3 a.m. is the witching hour. That's when it's the most active. 3 a.m. in this location, the spirits seem to all put their pajamas on and go to bed simultaneously at the same time. We hit up pretty much all over the house trying to see if we couldn't get like one last hoorah before we left, and nothing. Nothing. So, do you think that spirits adapt to investigators or people's schedules? Like, if investigators tap out around like 3 a.m., like, can the spirits adapt to people's schedules and they kind of go to bed too? That's like my question. And while you guys are typing, just for, like I said, the sake of time. So on the way home, we happened to see like two bright lights in the sky. And I decided to do some research. Of course, I made a joke. Oh my gosh, it's UFOs. Ha ha ha, blah, blah, blah. No. Okay. So the exact night that we were investigating, we found out that there was a full sturgeon moon and a 7 planetary alignment happening all at the same time. A lot of people believe that planetary alignment creates a cosmic portal or like an energy vortex. So the combined energies of all these planets put together create a powerful flow of energy that is more accessible to the people on Earth. So how do you think the planetary alignment and the full moon also affected that investigation? That's the second part of that. Let's see. I think they have their own schedule, hence they went to bed, like you said. That's really how it seemed, Debbie. That's why I was asking. Like, it really seemed like they just were like, I had enough of this shit. Going to bed.
Yeah.
Like, I done touched all your shit 10 times. Good night.
I ain't talking no more. I gave it everything I had.
Yeah. Because it really did seem like that. Because it was like active. And then, like I said, the last thing that happened was just before 3 a.m. Music box went off, footsteps in the dining room. And like, to give you guys a layout, you go from the kitchen into the dining room, you make a right into the living room into the dining room, you make a right, you go into the kitchen, and the kitchen is connected to the barber shop. So the music box was facing the living room from the dining room. The music box goes off, footsteps in the dining room, heading down the ramp towards the kitchen. And then the motion sensing camera tracked towards the kitchen and then tracked back towards us. So I don't know. I believe they get tired of trying to communicate or maybe get frustrated in trying. So they just stop altogether. Maybe we weren't like asking the right things. Or
well, I think it's kind of like a spirit could be talking to you the entire time and you're not
like jumping up and down in front of you, like going, hello, I'm here. Like, right. And you can't see me. What the hell's wrong with you?
It's kind of like you were talking about the spirit box saying Bert over Bert. It could be saying, hey, my name is Bert. I'm 26 years old.
Right.
And
but all we can hear is Bert.
But all it has enough energy to come through as Bert, or enough radio wave to come through as all you're catching is Bert every time. And so, or the spirit world may only allow for Bert to come through. So it could be telling you that. And think about it. If you're trying to talk to somebody and all they're hearing is Bert, and they can hear you, and all you're saying is Bert. So Bert, if you're really here, and can you keep touching that cat ball, and it's smacking the cat ball, but the cat ball's not lighting up, and it keeps doing it it's doing this for 2 hours straight.
Shauna and Danielle,
you're not gonna keep doing it.
If you tune into this and you listen, poor Bert.
So I mean, I would stop doing it too. I wouldn't keep doing it. We don't know what's going on. It's just like I was telling somebody the other day who told me they know exactly what's going on in the spirit world. I said, you know nothing about what's going on.
I need to hear this story. I haven't heard this one. Is it who I think it is?
I was telling someone, I said, you know nothing about what's going on in the spirit world until you go into the spirit world yourself and live in it.
Guys, if anything happens to me, set out all your equipment. I'm coming for all you. I can't say it.
It goes back to Harry Houdini. He said, if there's a chance that I can communicate, I will.
But then when they tried to do the seance, he didn't communicate. So That's a loaded question.
This is what keeps us investigating.
Can spirits really communicate? Don't know.
What are we actually getting with what we consider to be evidence?
But check this out, guys. I know we're out of time. I got a few announcements really quick before we get out. Thanks for the few people that hung with us really quick. I have gone on a new adventure and created a Hill City Paranormal Amazon storefront. I've had a lot of people come to me recently and they have asked me like, oh, where do you get that? Where did you get that? Where did you get that? Where can I get that? You know, I don't have a whole lot of money. So I went ahead and I took the time and I compiled lists of budget-friendly paranormal equipment, all the way from beginner basic equipment all the way to like I'm ready to go pro and need a $200 REM pod or whatever. I also have lists on there for cute apparel, gear, cargo shorts for guys, comfy shoes, because a lot of locations, like we're on our feet. And I don't know, we're getting older, guys. Like we're on our feet and we wake up the next day and we're like, shit, why did I do that? Right. Cute little tumblers, cups, mugs, winter gear. And then I've got a section on there for cleansing and spiritual protection, whether you need to cleanse yourself, cleanse your team, cleanse your home, cleanse your car. Or, you know, even if you don't go to a haunted location and you just feel really heavy with burden lately and you just need a good spiritual cleansing, I have put all of my favorites in these lists. So check out Hill City Paranormal's Amazon storefront and check out our lists, and you might find some stuff on there that you guys like. We also will be going live from the historic Rainworth Lodge Saturday nights. Probably around 9 p.m. I will create a live event on TikTok so you guys can tune in. If you do not follow us, it is at Hill City Ghosts, plural, on TikTok. We hit, and thank you, shout out to everybody that follows us. We hit 2K today, followers. So we are so blessed and so grateful for each and every one of you guys and everybody that tunes into our podcast every week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, we cannot do any of this without y'all. Thank you, Daryl. And James, the original question was about spirits affecting equipment. I say they affect us the same way. Some investigations. Yes, James. Yes.
You hit the nail on the head on that one.
I crashed. Thankfully, I did not have to go into work till 4:00 Monday afternoon, and I needed all of that time. Yeah. We got in at like 10 a.m. Sunday morning. I needed all of that time, all of it.
Hit the nail on the head on that one.
And I still, like, when I came home from work Monday night, I crashed. I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm still a little bit tired. So yeah. But guys, we will let you go over to the freaking awesome paranormal show over on the Rift Nation Network. And next Tuesday is the 19th. And we will have an open paranormal roundtable that night. So if you have any ideas, please shoot them our way, and or any topics of discussion. We would love to hear from you. The 26th, we will have the owners of the Doss House. So be prepared with all your questions there. And until next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
And we'll see you on the other side.